Yeah, really intense win for us. So very proud of the way the players held up in a lot of individual efforts in terms of taking up a fair bit of the workload so we could keep some rotations going.
Get the bad news out of the way first. What's the prognosis on McCrae and Marston?
Yeah, Marston is it's knee cartilage, so we're not really sure. So this is all now the next diagnosis, MRIs or whatever it is, and have a look. And the same with LeCras, really. So until they can actually say what he's done, we can't really answer that. So he'll get scans tomorrow, I would assume, and we'll wait and see the results of those.
Do they have specific fears of what he's done? It looked like a serious groin injury.
Yeah, no, at the moment, that's as much as I can get out of them. So normally they have maybe a bit stronger opinion on it, but it's an interesting one with Lecker. So he's walking around okay at the moment. So we'll wait and see what it actually is.
How long after he was taken off was he walking around? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
He showed his class last year, All Australian honours. How much of a blow, even if it is a few weeks, it could be a few months. How much of a blow?
Yeah, well, it's just disappointing if he does miss a few games because he's one of the good players to watch playing footy. We bring someone else in. That's the reality of it. But it'd be disappointing not to see him if he misses some games. But we're hopeful it might not be too many.
And he was showing his class in the midfield as well. Is that another hole that you're going to have to fill now? Especially with Master now.
Yep. Yeah, but we are lucky because we've got Daniel Kerr and Kobe Stevens who both played really well, strong games in the waffle yesterday. Sam Butler pushing up. So we've got a few guys there that are desperate to get a game.
Is Daniel Kerr capable of playing that small forward role like what McCrae would typically do?
He wouldn't play that same role, no.
Given the time Mark went off, John, the sub had already been on.
Yep.
So rotation starts at a minimum. Makes the win even more meritorious.
Yeah, we had to dig deep, as I said. The players, a lot of the defenders especially, knew they weren't going to get a rest. Lynchy's role just taken over the ruck work with Cox struggling in the last quarter. Some of those efforts were great for us. They had to hold up and just stay out there.
Cox's crump looked a bad one. In other circumstances, would he have come off the ruck?
Yeah, it's hard to say. If we had obviously 4, or we'd lost Maston, so we still had 3 on the bench, we would have been able to give him some different rests. It's hard to say. I mean, in any situation with cramp, you can stay out there. It wasn't an injury as such, so we're quite comfortable that he could stay out there in a position where he didn't have to run as much.
How do you rate Cox's effort?
Oh, yeah, I thought he was very strong for us.
To get that reward in round 1, looking ahead for the whole season, how important is it just to get a win under the belt?
Yeah, it doesn't make anything for the year. We've got a massive amount of work ahead of us, and our plan is to get back up to be one of the really good sides in the competition. And we know we've got a lot of work still to do, but we've seen over the summer, and I think in tonight's effort, that the players have done the work and are on the track.
What stood out for you tonight in improvement from last year?
People question marks on players like Nikoski. Publicly, people question your selection. Brad Ebert, there's a lot of question marks on, and he performed really strongly tonight. Should have kicked 2 goals, gave one away. So just some of those players that people have had question marks on. I think Maston started all right for us, and Shuey coming in. Some of Shepherd's efforts in the last quarter. It's exciting.
We've spoken a lot about Shuey during the pre-season, but just to have that poise at the depth of the game, to take that high contact and kick the goal.
Yeah.
What do you make of him as a player developing in the system?
We're wrapped that he's had a good pre-season. He's ready to play a lot of continuous footy for us. So he's an important member of our squad.
And Gap as well came on and had an influence in that second half too. Yeah,
definitely. I thought he looked really strong running in that last quarter when we needed someone up and going, and got the ball forward for us a fair bit.
Darling's play as a forward, John. How's the Raiders game?
Pretty good. First up, he did some really good things for us. The couple of goals he got, I thought, were really good goals. One from a free kick, I think, tackle, and one from a contested mark. where he really probably shouldn't have taken it. The defender had to sit, but if you can get someone who can create those goals when maybe they're not really there, it's pretty special for us.
2 hit-outs to Kerr now. Is he ready in your mind to come in?
He's feeling pretty good. Yeah, he reckons he was just running into his second win in the last quarter yesterday. So that's a good sign.
Will you bring him back?
I've got to give that plenty of consideration where he's at, what he's ready for and what we need. But, he's ready to go, as in he's played a couple of games, his touch is good and he feels like he's ready to play.
How close were you to playing him as a sub today?
Well, we certainly gave it plenty of consideration. And in the end, we felt for his long-term career, the best thing was to give him another better hit out at the lower intensity.
Considering that you were down to the 2 on the bench, were you glad that you'd made that decision?
Didn't really think about that. No.